This is a previously recorded episode of the IT and the D Show.
Live from the Raw Radio X studios in downtown Detroit, this is the IT and the D Show.
This is Max Headroom, and what you're about to witness is one of the most sinister-sounding intros to a trailer to one of the greatest epics ever.
Boom. 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 All right. Boom. Let's do a little singing and smoke. Boom. Boom. A 1, 2. Boom. 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 Boom.
The following program is intended for mature audiences.
It's I Love the 80s, and this is 1981.
Alive! It's alive! It's alive!
Gods, knights, squires, prepare for battle.
So what happens when you tap the angry beaver in the bunghole?
Exactly.
Come on. Someone tries. To hell with this. I'm calling a break. We'll come back to the show.
Got the beta king.
No, we're not homosexual, but we are willing to learn.
Dun, dun, dun. I am Captain Chaos.
So you have no boots. No. You have no gloves. No. You have no hat. No. You have no scarf. No. You have no scraper. No. How long have you lived in Michigan? All my life.
You, sir, are an idiot.
I don't care.
Captain Chaos?
What's up, everybody? This is Billy Zapka. Sweep the leg. Listening to IT and the D Show. No mercy.
When I have understanding of computers, I shall be the supreme being.
You're in your underwear. I'm in my underwear. Here, let's hang out.
No, I'm sorry, honey. I have a headache.
I definitely want to see Bob in his underwear. That's a fact.
Occupation, stand-up philosophy. What?
Stand-up philosophy. I coalesce the vapor of human experience.
Oh, a bullshit artist.
Hi, this is Martin Cove, John Kreese from the Karate Kid movie, and you're listening to IT and the D.
Yes, Sensei! 24 hours a day on cable TV.
I want my MTV!
Yeah, too much is never enough.
Let loose the Kraken!
We got screwed at the same time. Yeah, it's just too big. It's way too big.
We just lost our clean tag on iTunes.
That's the fact, Jack! That's the fact, Jack! The Lord Jehovah has given unto you these 15 10 commandments for all to obey.
What we're dealing with here is a complete lack of respect for the law.
Have you ever been convicted of a felony or a misdemeanor?
Convicted?
Yeah.
No. Never convicted.
This is Robert Hayes, a Ted Stryker to my mother. When I'm not hanging out at the Magumbo bar, I'm listening to the IT and the D Show. It's worse than Detroit.
Is there such thing as a meat hangover?
I love my Monday meat stick.
Turn your microphone off. Just get out.
Lighten up, Francis.
You can't go! All the plants are gonna die! I gotta barbecue your assy molasses!
Last year, I spent more money on spilt liquor than you made. Woo!
As soon as I get home, the first thing I'm gonna do is punch your mama in the mouth.
Hey, folks, this is WWE Hall of Famer Hacksaw Jim Duggan, and you're listening to the IT and the D Show. Tough guy. Ho!
So, what would you little maniacs like to do first?
The question isn't what are we going to do. The question is what aren't we going to do.
Ludicrous speed! Go!
Yes, we are stuck in the 80s, and we are proud, and we do not care. This is episode 81, the IT and the D Show. What do three IT idiots talk about when they go to the bar? This is Bob the Sales Guy here with Dave the Geek, Jeff the
movies.
Voice of Reason, properties of 80s movies. We are sitting here in the Robert Radio X Studios
sort of social.
in the Russell Industrial Center. Beautiful Midtown Detroit, Michigan. Find us online, itandthed.com. During the live segment, if you want to tweet to us, hit us up at IT and the D. And if it doesn't suck, we'll read it on the air. And yeah, we're Episode 81. This is
it is alive.
It's still alive.
Yeah, we are now fully more than 5 times where you thought we would be.
Before we forget, just the last couple of weeks we've had some technical difficulties. We appreciate your patience. We didn't get out last week's episode out till like Friday, but yeah, hopefully it sounds good so far.
Yeah, hats off to Dave. You know, the nerve in his head is kind of recessed back. You know, he's he's on blood sugar medicine now. And
little tense last week.
Nothing. Some delicious falling down beer can't
right.
help.
That's right.
So speaking of which, we are drinking delicious falling down beer.
Of course we are.
They're over on 10 and Quinder. If you have not been there, go check them out. Cool people, great place.
So, and we have sponsors galore now. We have Quantum Storage. No, not Squanto.
Sponsors galore. Sponsors galore.
Yeah, the Pilgrim, the Native American. No, that has we're not teaching anybody how to put a piece of corn and a fish in a hole. And no, not Squanto.
No,
Quantum.
Sponsors galore. It all got merged together. Keep going.
Just keep going.
Okay.
What was that about editing out that last 15 seconds of my life? He's going to make a mark.
And then we want to welcome. We got a new sponsor.
It sucks.
Yeah, exactly.
No, we want to welcome. We have a new sponsor into the fray.
Well, we have W3R, who was on with us last week and had the event out at the Centerpoint Sheraton last Wednesday.
Marriott
Sheraton.
Packed event.
It was a packed.
NT, tentacles, big difference.
Right.
Yeah.
And Pure Storage is coming on board.
Woohoo! Hey, all right.
Exciting and new.
Exactly.
Yeah, and from what we've gathered, there is a significant difference between quantum storage and pure
Hugely.
storage.
They do not compete.
Well, and they do completely different things, which who knew?
Right.
Same vertical, but not
no.
Pure storage is like first storage, like flash array. You know, it's like your primary storage provider where Quantum's taking care of like your deduplicate, the back of the scene stuff. You know, it's totally different. Like they're taking care of the archiving.
Okay.
Where Pure Storage is primary, so they work hand in hand.
And then, speaking of sponsors, we do have our one of our infamous pink slip parties coming up. We are like 2 weeks away.
The 19th.
Yeah,
March.
We're in March.
We're in March.
Oh my God!
How did that happen?
So one of those is coming up on March 19th.
I think we have one table left.
We have one slot open for sponsors. They went extremely quickly. We just announced it like a week and a half ago, and they're gone.
Right. Good sales problems to have. You don't even have to make a phone call.
Right,
exactly.
Right. Yeah, so we've got one left
for a change.
Right. So yeah, we've got one left. If anybody's interested, it's a great way to get your faces and your company in front of about 1,000 people. That most importantly are all 100% in and around the IT industry. We've spent 14 years kicking out everybody who sucks. So, and you get to
and it's still a full-time job.
Right.
We still try to show up,
and you get to reap the benefits of that. So yeah.
So speaking of which, we got a packed studio today. We have 3 awesome guests.
We do.
We have Andy here from Detroit Bus Company. We have 4 guests. Three groups.
Yes.
4 guests. Andy here's from Detroit Bus Company. This is going to probably be one of our funner conversations we're going to have about what happened to Andy. And I'm
just going to put The Godfather on
through the whole segment.
Yeah, actually for him, not for Bob.
And then we have Sharon and Chelsea here from ComiqueCon. It's actually a cool comic book.
Is it right? Comique?
I asked
them. We did the research half an hour ago.
It ties in very well to Dave's blog about taking his daughter to a comic book store. So it's actually a comic book show primarily targeted at girls, which is cool.
Well, it's featuring female comic creators, and it's targeted towards everybody to appreciate female-friendly creators.
Very cool.
Even better.
And we have.
So it's not like if you have junk, you'll get turned away at the door.
No.
They're totally good with guys showing up. Yes,
right.
Yeah, we want guys to show up. We don't want this to be like the girls-only party.
No, it's gonna be like they're gonna booth.
They don't want it to be like Lilith Fair.
I was just gonna say that.
No, they're gonna do the opposite of like booth babes. They're gonna have like firefighters with their shirts off. Hey, you want to read this comic? I don't know anything about it. They just hired me. And then we got Joe here from Folkteller Tales and Caliber Comics. He's got a great book that he just released, and a
little bit of Detroit folklore,
the
Nain Rouge, which I'd heard about a little bit, but it wasn't until we got the note about the comic and I started digging a little bit deeper into it. It's pretty cool.
Did you hear the breaking news, by the way?
Is it that there's an Applebee's opening
up?
Applebee's.
I can't stop talking about it to everyone I ever meet. I go, did you hear the news? It's like the one, they're opening up at Applebee's in Detroit. So the dumbest thing of the day is
that's still not breaking news.
Well,
is
but
it?
let's be clear. I think the breaking news part of this is that we're going to host a surprise black tie fundraiser, and we're going to call it "Putting on the Ribs." And we're not going to tell Applebee's that we're coming.
No, we're going to show up in
we're just going to
limo.
have everybody show up in limos and tuxes, and we're going to call it "Putting on the Ribs."
Oh yeah.
And Bob and I are going to grab mics at one point.
We're going to walk in with a mariachi band. Too.
Right, no, we have a marching band that's going to accompany us.
A marching mariachi band.
Yes. And we're going to be accompanied into the Applebee's. It's going to be
Okay. With that, so if it's going to be a mariachi band, should we dress as the Three Amigos?
Ooh,
yes, absolutely.
I'll ponder.
I prefer Walton Spiel party of 50.
I prefer Dumb and Dumber tuxes, but we'll figure it out. The dumb thing of the day is I could not believe it. So they're opening up another B-Dubs, right? Which is they open them up everywhere. Who cares, right?
Yeah.
Can I? Okay, I got to ask a question. So everybody calls Buffalo Wild Wings.
Yeah.
BW3s.
Yeah.
Just B-Dub.
The third W is WEC. There's bread.
There's only 2 W's in Buffalo Wild Wings.
They're not really into algebra.
No, it was Buffalo Wild Wings and WEC. That was the original name.
Yeah.
But that's not the name anymore.
No, it's not.
Like I told you, I still call CVS Arbor. Pine Knob is still Pine Knob.
It will always be Pine Knob.
Tiger Stadium is Tiger Stadium.
It will always be Tiger Stadium.
And BW3s is BW3s.
I don't know about that.
Yeah.
with you. Screw you.
So they're opening them up faster than they're opening them up Noodles and Company, right? And those strip malls. And, well, this one's in Royal Oak.
Across the street, by the way.
This one's in Royal Oak. It's in a Barnes and Noble.
Right.
And the first 100 people. God bless it.
So there was a line.
Hopcat set a precedent in this town when you give away a free bag of dog food, and everyone will show up.
A line around the block.
The block.
To get.
How many wings?
6.
At one time?
6 wings.
6 wings.
Per week.
Oh.
For how long?
For a year.
For a year.
Wow.
So you've wasted hours of your life getting hypothermia and pneumonia for a grand total of 312 wings.
I don't get it.
Not at once.
Over the span of a year.
Yeah.
No, we got to do a thing where we give away like free bags of dog poo and see how many people actually show up. Like it's like the dumbest thing. Like, why in the world would you get up at like 7 a.m. on we get free crack fries. Let's sit there all day. Like, what do you do?
It's like the line from Caddyshack. Like, don't you people work?
Don't you have homes? Like, what do you do? No, seriously. Like, what possess you? Like, if let's say I don't have a job, right? And I don't have a job. And do you think I'm getting up at the butt crack of dawn so I get some wings? No, I'm sleeping in. I'm watching Judge Judy. Like, you know what I'm saying? They're like, what are you doing?
Tommy want wing eating.
You got up before me, and I have a job, so you can get some wings. And it's not even like you're going to go there and just order.
You got up before me, and I have a job.
I'm going to get 6 wings and a water, please. Like, it's not like you're going to do that. You're going to buy beer, and you're going to get the stupid overpriced fries.
Well, but that's what they count on. But like, so my hope is that all of the people who got that do. They all walk in. I want them all to walk in at the same time.
They should organize a club.
Like once a week, there should be like just
why didn't we organize that?
Free wing flash mob, and like they all just descend upon the place, like at 4 o'clock on a Friday.
Meetup group.
Even better.
Free wing Fridays at BW3, whatever.
But all of a sudden, there's going to be a caveat with minimum $10 purchase.
Right.
Yeah. Because you can't share your wings with anyone else in your party.
But somebody put a video on Facebook this morning. There's the line wrapped around. It was like
it would have been breaking news if somebody was unfortunately hit by a train with the tracks are right there. It's not breaking news that a restaurant is opening.
No,
they don't want to talk about the black site in Chicago that is illegally housing criminals. No. We're going to talk about what color the dress is and free wings and Applebee's. That's what we're going to talk about. Because that's important and stuff.
The best conspiracy theory that I heard over the weekend was, and if you look at the timing, it actually works out. They were like, so Leonard Nimoy, they were like, okay, Leonard Nimoy's not feeling well. Like there's something wrong and he's going to the hospital.
Yeah, that was Thursday night.
Whip out that stupid dress graphic and get it out on the internet so the nerds have something to obsess about, or else they're going to riot when he dies.
It was that and the 2 stupid llamas that broke free from the zoo or whatever.
No, I think it was the net neutrality breaks, and they're like, "Well, quick dress color,
right?
Llamas."
That's exactly what it was.
Look, Elvis.
So speaking of, that was the bomb that dropped this week. Was
that Leonard Nimoy died?
Yeah.
Net neutrality can kiss my ass because nobody understands what it's all about. Nobody understands what they're arguing about or fighting about or any kind of anything. Yeah, to me, more important than Leonard Nimoy died.
That's fine. I thought we were Star Wars, not Star Trek. we're dropping them.
It's still it's iconic.
You know what though, and if you miss Leonard Nimoy popping old
But
Star Trek,
it's
not going
when
away.
the news broke, you're the first person I thought. I'm like, you know what? If you miss him, you can go watch Star Trek. I mean, we had the funeral for him in 1982 in Wrath of Khan.
See, but to me,
Khan.
To me, it's not even like I'm not even as much Star Trek. I loved Leonard Nimoy from In Search Of.
Well, yeah, of
like
course.
that was a far better show that I paid way
And
more
who knew
attention
he
to.
was a poet?
No, but Andy, do you get sad
And a
when
musician.
celebrities die?
It depends on who it is. I mean,
See, now my take is like Chris Farley dies, and you're like, oh man, it's a bummer. But Tommy Boy will forever live in my DVD collection.
but
So
there's
he'll
there's no new Chris Farley movies.
But that's
though.
all I ever knew him was from
Oh.
that. So he'll never go away.
And maybe if he was still around, he would suck.
Right, who knows?
That was always like, well, but you never know the genius that could. You'd never know the suck that could have come out.
Like the Robin Williams thing. Like, oh, I'm so sad. Well, put in Miss Doubtfire. Like, you know.
And maybe if more of you idiots had gone to see his last movie.
So we're not
going
going to talk about net neutrality?
Of course, we can talk about net neutrality.
We have to.
We have to.
There's like.
I mean, I got all upset about it, but Dave, you have a good point. I mean, yes, they passed it, but it's going to be held up in courts for years.
Exactly, and not
right?
only
I mean, nothing has changed, nothing will change in the foreseeable future.
No,
well, there's two different. There's two
to me,
different.
the biggest
camps.
part of the whole thing is that they're trying to get it classified as a utility
from a law from 1934,
right?
Which makes sense.
Well, but nobody's paying attention. So guess what? That little line item on your cable bill that it's like a 3 to 6% sales tax.
Yeah.
Or 3 to 6%. Yeah, that's going to jump to like 22, 25%.
Just like you pay on your house,
Just like
bill.
you pay on your energy bill and everything else. Yeah.
Right? Because basically, because no one's using house phones anymore, so that money's all gone.
Right?
Yeah. But here's the thing that I don't get. They passed a law based on speculation of what.
No. They didn't pass the law. This was not actually law. This was regulation.
Yeah, this
the
is the
FCC.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Whatever it is that they passed, regulation. But it's not. They said, well, what if the companies did this?
They just granted themselves power. That's all they did.
And I was like, well, they didn't do it yet. Like, what happens if Netflix pays Comcast $500 million?
That's what I'm saying. It's all going to get held up in court.
Fast lanes.
Why do you have to have laws?
I don't know. It worked just fine on its own. That's what everybody's talking
The
about.
internet's been working fine for the last.
No. Why do you have to have laws against people killing each other?
Oh, stop.
Don't go down this.
Right, net neutrality is like,
just people might kill each other. You have to have laws in place in case it happens.
No. Someone killed someone first, and then they wrote a law.
What happened?
Cain killed Abel. Then they wrote the Ten Commandments.
And Comcast throttled the shit out of Netflix, and along comes net neutrality.
Yeah. Well, they were throttling stuff. I mean, we were talking to Charles. He was throttling stuff back in the old ISP days,
Of course.
in the mid '90s.
Yeah, that's not a new practice. They've been doing that for years.
Like
they just weren't telling anyone.
I'm shocked that torrents aren't choked off almost completely with the ISPs. They don't want that traffic clogging up everything.
It's a total first world problem. I mean, my daughter complains that Netflix is buffering,
not streaming fast enough.
Yeah.
I
mean, come on.
Like I said,
what are we really talking about?
If there's one pixel out of place in my TV,
oh yeah, you scream.
I'm raising hell.
Holy hell! Yep.
I'm breaking the TV. That's
it's got to go to space, Bob. I mean, you got to give it a second.
Exactly. It's the whole Louis C.K. bit. Absolutely. Give it a second.
I got no patience. Once you give it to me once, it's on. Like you set the precedent. Forget it.
Yeah, it's true.
What else is going on? I'm done talking about it.
Well, so the other event that we've got going on...
Nobody knows what it's about, but anyway.
Right. So ComiqueCon, and even though they are getting flooded, I'm going to throw this out here one last time just to be safe.
This is kind of a cool thing.
The good folks at ComiqueCon, one of the cool things that's going on, and it's April 24th through 26th, they have an organization, it's a nonprofit that's coming in, and they basically 3D print and manufacture replacement arms, limbs, hands, whatever, for kids.
We're living in the future.
Exactly. And so...
It's amazing.
But what they need is 3D printers. They need to get 3D printers for that weekend.
Things aren't cheap.
Well, but there's dude, we've had like 18 different maker spaces in on this show.
Exactly.
And they all have them, and they're all nerds, and this is a nerd con, and this is for kids. And so help me God, all 18 of you, here's the deal. If PenguinCon doesn't get the 3D printers that they need, we are going to dedicate our lives to every post on our Facebook wall, on our Twitter feed. Every single one of these podcasts will be calling all of you out as hating handicapped children.
Go all Mel Gibson ransom. I will make it my mission in life.
I don't know who you are, but I have a certain set of skills.
Right.
And that's
called the internet.
And that's ranting.
Dave, let me break it down. We have a hard enough time getting people to review us on iTunes. and you're telling me that we're going to give them.
We haven't threatened them.
We're going to give them hell for not donating a refrigerator-sized 3D printer for crying out loud
for a weekend.
It's
for the kids.
Right.
For the kids.
Do we tell them that they needed to bring the material to actually print stuff too?
I'm not going to lie.
It's like bringing a photocopier without any paper.
I give money to like gleaners and I give money to all that stuff. To me, this is one of the cooler.
Dude, this is one of the coolest things I've seen.
The worst thing I think in the world that could ever happen to you as a human being is like losing a limb, right? I couldn't even imagine.
Well, especially as a kid.
Right, as a kid. And then all of a sudden you get a droid hand. Like you're like all of a sudden go from like the weirdo to the cool kid in school. Like in a matter of
you're
seconds.
Luke Skywalker.
Right,
Pretty much,
exactly.
yeah.
Like
walk around with all those little plastic lightsaber things from Meyer.
Right.
And just tell them like, I got made from a droid factory, you know.
Yeah.
Oh my, that's like the coolest thing. But what an awesome idea for the charity to do that. I'm floored.
Yeah, so I mean, if you have a 3D printer and you can get these folks hooked up, that would be awesome. You can hit them. Just go to penguicon.org. They've got a contact us form there, or shoot them an email. Nuri, Scott, whoever. Chair, like you're sitting in a chair, the conference chair. So it's chair@penguicon.org. Drop them a note. Let them know you can help them out. That would be fantastic.
Why do you want to email the chair?
Because it's the Internet of Things, Bob, and the chair has an email address now.
The chair's internet activated?
Well, yes. IKEA is selling furniture that will charge your phone wirelessly.
Not your chair.
My chair's telling me to get off right now. No!
One at a time, please.
Dave, I wonder what you would do for the prosthetic limbs for the puppies. Have you seen that?
No, I like
yes, I have seen that.
No, like with the.
I'm kind of scared to know what you would do to try
if they didn't show up. Yeah.
Well, like the dog missing the back two legs, and they put like the skateboard on him, so he just flaps his front two legs. That's like the cutest thing I've ever seen.
Oh, absolutely.
Call him Sparky. The little pig with like the Connects wheels.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and then our friends at Uber are having a bad week.
The
hits keep on coming with that company. It's like they generate their own press.
It came out that last year they had a little data breach, and the personal information of about 50,000 drivers is out there in the wild, and they don't know who did it, how it happened, where, why, whatever. So that was fun. And then the news broke that a guy out in California...
Yeah, that wasn't the worst thing that happened to him.
So a guy out in California, thanks to surge pricing, took an 11-mile, 30-minute Uber ride. Now...
How much did it cost him, Dave?
11 miles, 30 minutes. You know what? Surge pricing... $50.
No, that was a. Remember, I went to Kentucky. That was the same. About that same.
11 miles.
Yeah, it wasn't quite a half hour. It was like maybe 18 minutes. But that's $7 ride for me in Louisville. How much was it?
$452.
And what time of day was that, or evening?
Rush hour.
Yeah,
but still,
surge pricing during rush hour.
11 miles, 30 minutes, $452. Kiss my ass.
Was that on a private jet? I mean,
right?
Oh yeah.
Or was it a Camry?
So I said at the bar, it's like I should be riding a Tauntaun, or give me something like he should be pulling me in a rickshaw.
Be able to ride in a Tauntaun,
right?
I mean, come on.
I was gonna say a guy did a rickshaw with me on a bike, and that was like probably the worst experience of his life. pulling me around in Central Park. That was $100. And I felt bad. I tipped him $40 because I'm like, I'm sorry, dude. It was like uphill like twice. And I'm like,
there's an EMS truck behind the rickshaw. Just in case.
You must hate when Midwest guys come to this thing, do you? He's like, I'm fine. Need to build up some endurance.
Got an oxygen tank.
But I could understand paying that guy $400. But just for a stupid, was it just like a Lincoln?
Yeah, just a regular.
Was it Uber X or
no,
like
I believe
the
it was Uber?
The Uber what's the high class one? The Uber Black or whatever it is.
But still, dude, 11.
I'm not defending. I'm trying to figure out why.
Uber starting to piss me off. Like when we went to the like I told you from the Russell to the W.
Yeah,
it was $27.
Yeah,
what 3 miles?
Well, it's here. It's
Which
supply
company was
and demand.
That was Uber.
That was Uber as well.
Yeah, it was a Lincoln. It wasn't like it was.
Might as well just get a Metro car. It'd be cheaper.
It's basically what it is when they show up like that.
Yeah.
Well, and so then, like I said, I don't know if you guys actually read it or not, but I shot you the greatest story that you will read all week, which I thought was outstanding. Where the guy who was like basically the godfather of revenge porn websites. So he would he'd set up these websites and then solicit everybody to, hey, send us all those nudes that you've stolen and got of your
from
girlfriends,
your ex-girlfriend,
yada, yada, yada. And then he would charge outlandish sums of money to get the pictures taken down as part of his complaint process. He's now petitioning Google to get his name and images removed from the Google search index.
Did you see what he wrote?
Because it's causing him negative publicity.
Did you see what he wrote?
The upper hand's on the other foot.
Went to his site and all it was like,
you know what that's called?
Sorry.
That's called karma.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Alanis Morissette says what?
No, he wrote a letter on that website because I didn't know that site existed, so I clicked it, and it's like, I'm sorry, what I did was wrong, and really sorry.
Yeah, no,
did he find Jesus?
Yeah, no, he's sorry because he got caught.
Yeah,
and he got sued.
That's my line.
Yeah,
It's
that's
like
you.
the Girls Gone Wild guy.
Yeah.
Was he serving 15 years or something?
Is that guy in jail or is
he
on
was?
an island? He's on an island somewhere.
Yeah. I don't know. Yeah, he could buy
exactly.
himself out.
Yeah, you're not sorry. You're not sorry you did it. You're sorry you got caught.
Yeah.
Exactly. There's a difference.
Just like a couple other people we know locally. So
right, yeah, the ones that start their morning with the Facebook update of grant me the serenity to yeah.
I found God.
Yeah, what'd you get a DUI last night? What? Yeah. That's always my first thought.
Right, exactly. Got caught with weed.
Google starts giving you moped ads like you're eating one of these.
Right.
All right, hey, we're bouncing up against a break.
Yeah, we got a fun show lined up. This is the IT and the D Show.
We'll be right back.
Live from the Raw Radio X studios in downtown Detroit, this is the IT in the D Show.
Dig you IT geeks. This is Dre DeMatteo from Sons of Anarchy. You are listening to IT in the D.
If you're a reseller of IT solutions, the original equipment manufacturer should not be your strongest competitor. At Quantum, we understand the true meaning of partnership. We work with our channel to deliver industry-leading solutions together, all the time, not just when it's convenient for us. Heck, we don't even have a direct sales force. Quantum is looking for a few good partners. Call 586-745-4DXI to get started. That's 586-745-4394.
This is a previously recorded episode of the IT and the D Show.
Welcome back, segment 2, episode 81 of the IT and the D Show. We're sitting here in the Raw Radio X studios in the Russell Industrial Center, beautiful Midtown Detroit, Michigan. This is Bob the Sales Guy, here with Dave the Geek, Jeff, the voice of reason. Find us online, itandthed.com. And,
I am Captain Chaos.
I've been talking about doing that with Tulio, for him to be JJ and for me to be Captain Chaos. I swear to God.
And then we saw the guy at Motor City ComiqueCon last year that was Captain Chaos.
Angry.
You were so mad.
It's like, I've been talking about this for 20 years. I wanted to do it. I have dibs.
You are Captain Chaos.
Exactly. That was one of the greatest characters ever, like the alter ego. Yeah.
I don't know how you didn't start with that for tonight's show.
We talked about doing the Cannonball Run thing, like renting an ambulance.
Yeah, exactly.
Getting the old man doctor with the middle finger. They don't make movies like that.
No, they don't. You can't get away with that stuff anymore.
Well, just the ensemble cast like that you can't get anymore. Dude, I mean...
There really isn't an ensemble cast like that anymore. I mean, if you think about
that. Dean Martin,
Sammy Davis
Jr., Burt Reynolds, Dom DeLuise, Farrah Fawcett, Jamie Farr... Yeah. Roger Moore, who at the time was huge.
I forgot about Roger Moore. Yeah, that's right.
Jaws and what's his
Jackie
name?
Chan.
Jackie Chan and Jaws.
God,
Adrienne Barbeau.
Yeah.
The hottest woman on the planet at the time.
And Daisy Duke.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nah, Catherine Bach was in the second one, wasn't she?
She was in the second.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were driving the
one. The Ferrari.
No, it wasn't a Ferrari.
No, the Lamborghini.
It was a Lamborghini Diablo.
Yeah, where they unzipped their tops and there was a woman cop.
And the female cop.
But no, we had a great bar talk. Like, what would you, like today? What would be like the cast of Cannonball Run?
There wouldn't. That's what I'm saying. There's no ensemble cast like that. I mean, the closest thing that I can think of is the cast from Ocean's 11.
No, you'd have Franco and Rogan.
You know, I mean that's a true.
You'd have Favreau and Vaughn, and you'd have Cusack and Ari Gold. What the hell's his name?
Blah.
All the guys from Old School.
Yeah. John Favreau and anyone that
Right.
It would suck.
Essentially an old school SNL cast.
Yeah, right. Pretty much, Adam Sandler and Rob Schneider.
Exactly.
But
still,
that's why they haven't done it, because that would be awful.
It would suck.
Right.
Yeah, like Blues Brothers 2000.
So what do we got going on?
Well, we have gas.
Oh,
we do.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah, welcome, by the way.
I thought they were just a live studio audience.
Right.
The Peanut Gallery.
The IT and the D Show is filmed in front of a live studio audience.
Exactly.
Yeah, there is no laugh track, so Bob actually likes it.
So yeah, we've got it's Sharon and Chelsea. Want to make sure I got that right from ComiqueCon. I'm going to stumble over that all.
That's your new safe word, or
you can say CQC if that's easier.
CQC perfectly.
Yep.
So yeah, no, PenguinCon.
CQ.
PenguinCon is still my safe word. No, that's,
okay.
Yeah, when I can no longer say PenguinCon, it's time to stop drinking. And put
cut
it
you
away.
off.
Yeah.
Right. Did you say that word yesterday? Oh, never mind.
No, I should have. So let's talk about it. You've got an event coming up in November.
Yep.
And it is basically a ComiqueCon, but it is designed to feature female artists. Yes?
Female creators,
Okay.
writers, editors, that kind
Tracers.
of thing. Tracers, letterers, you know.
That's awesome.
You're a tracer.
You're a tracer, man.
Colorist. if we like land a colorist, which yeah.
So, like, what was the what made you decide to do this? Like, what? Because I mean, we know putting on events is a gigantic pain in the ass. So, what made you decide that you wanted to take that on?
I think that, well, with my job, I think that I've gotten enough event experience now that I felt confident that I could, you know, try to put something like this together.
So you got cocky.
Well, cocky and a little lucky. We have a couple of really great sponsors that have jumped on board right away. So I talked first with Green Brain Comics in Dearborn, and they were totally on board.
Yeah, we came in, we're like, we were thinking this might be a good idea, and they're like, yes, it's a good idea, do it.
Yeah,
we're like,
and
okay.
I have some really great connections at the Arab American National Museum,
Okay.
and they've also been really helpful, really want to help us, you know, put on a great event. And, you know, nothing like this, to my knowledge, has really been done before. They have Geek Girl Con over on the West Coast, but it's not comic book specific, and they don't feature just female creators. From
Now,
what I
guys, are
understand.
guys allowed?
Yes, of course.
It's going to be Neckbeard Central in that place. Oh my god!
You know, you'd be surprised. Like, I don't think some of the geek guys have like truly clued into where the geek girls hang out, because we went last year to a Supernatural convention, huge female following.
Supernatural convention?
Yeah, Supernatural, the TV show.
Oh, okay.
A TV show I'd never heard of has a convention. What in
Has
the world?
several conventions a year.
Might be why there are no guys there. Because
Right.
they're watching Supernatural.
But yeah,
It's on the
you look
WB.
and it's like all girls, and you're thinking like, do geek guys not know this is happening?
They do now.
They do now.
You just ruined it.
Yeah. I was at a Gilmore Girls convention, and there were no guys there.
Well, in
None to
Gilmore
talk
Girls,
like that, maybe.
You know, there aren't like zombies getting ripped apart.
Yeah, no, actually, they've done a good job lately. I mean, I know they've got, Supernatural, Flash, what is it, Sleepy Hollow.
Yep.
There's like a lot of cool shows that are
right.
coming out that are hitting the right genres now.
Yep.
Still kind of addicted to Walking Dead, even if the last episode was a little slow.
They're all slow.
Every other one. No, every other show.
By definition.
They've been doing that since.
Thank you.
Ding.
So that's the where, and then so you mentioned sponsors. You are still obviously looking for some, I believe.
Yes, we are definitely looking for sponsors.
And so what do these sponsors need to do? What do they get? Like, how does it work into the overall flow of the con? What's the shtick?
So if you're interested in being a sponsor, you can go to our website, which is ComiqueCon.com, ComiqueCon.com. And you can download our sponsorship brochure. We have, you know, some very reasonable levels available, and all kinds of exposure, you know, for the different levels.
So who is so from a sponsor perspective, who do you envision going to this? Like, how much interest is out there? Like, who do you think is going to show up and be the people walking around? Like, I mean, is it going to be like Comic-Con? Is it going to be like fanfare? Or is it going to be...
And who would be a target sponsor?
I think that, you know, we want to look at, well, I kind of had like an aha moment because, you know, realistically, we probably expect more women to come this year. You know, we're probably expecting around 300 attendees. Okay. And I think that, you know, as much as we'd like to get guys, you know, I think the first year, people hear female-centric Comic-Con and they think like women only. So I guess we're looking for sponsors. You know, I want to look at like maybe designer like, you know, designer collectible
Okay.
companies, you know, maybe like nerdy clothing boutiques, like
Okay.
this kind of thing. I think that's sort
Yep,
of my
no,
first
I
target.
totally get it. I understand.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, all the info's on our website. You know, we have Facebook, Twitter, et
And
cetera.
right here in front of us. So it is November 7th. You're going to be doing this.
Yes.
And so it's a one-day thing?
Yes.
Okay.
We are planning on having a VIP event the night before at Green Brain Comics, and we'll be having, you know, hopefully some of the creators will be able to make it the night before, and we're going to be really, like, putting our ticket options up on the website fairly soon too.
So are you going to have any, like, my favorite part of Comic-Con is, like, the F-list celebrities, right?
I just wanted to look quick. So it's a Saturday that you're going to be doing this.
Yes.
Okay.
Have you guys teed up any of the local celebs or anybody to, you know, the lonely guy in the corner signing autographs with all this, you know?
Ian Ziering.
We have-
Yeah, those are my favorite.
We are happy. This is the first time we
female
can
Power Ranger.
announce our guests so far.
We get exclusive. Wait,
Yes.
wait. Breaking news.
Breaking news. Wait. Not Applebee's.
So we have confirmed 4 guests. We have Marguerite DeBay coming in from New York.
Okay.
And she has some wonderful art on her Tumblr, like really cool stuff. So Marguerite DeBay. And then we also have Marguerite Scott, who just released a Guardians of the Galaxy comic last week.
Very cool.
And she's also very well known for producing a ton of really great Transformers comics. So
Okay.
the Transformers community, I've been told, might swarm us. And then we also have
Marguerite Jones and then Marguerite Smith.
There's a lot of Marguerites in comics.
Marguerites out there. We were sort of reached.
I've never heard that name before in my life, and there's 2 back to back.
Wait. Begun the Clone Wars have.
Well, and how do you not have a panel called Meet the Marguerites? I mean, how do you
Right.
I'm thinking about
We
it.
can do this. We can do this.
First one's free.
I'm just paying it forward for all the ideas he gave us.
Right,
That's
right.
So we also have we're bringing in some Arab American talent. So Marguerite DeBay is one of the Arab American creators, and then we also have Layla Abdelrazak, who is fresh out of college, and she's releasing a graphic novel called Badawi this spring, and it's from what I understand, it's about life in a Palestinian refugee camp. So
Okay.
yeah, she's sort of
It's a real uplifting, really.
Comedy.
Right.
But
Laugh out loud.
It's from the perspective of a young child, isn't it?
I believe so.
So.
Yeah. So
Way more
and then
LOL now.
Sort
Yeah.
of our last person that we've confirmed right now is Alex DeCampi, and she's worked on some
Why do I know that name?
She's worked on some Wonder Woman stuff, and then she's also releasing an Archie versus Predator comic.
Yes. Is that not everything you ever wanted and didn't know you needed?
Now that just sums
My
up
job
comics
is
right
the-
there. That is like phenomenal. That's awesome.
Can we make that into a movie?
Wait, that would actually be better than all those Alien prequel.
Right?
I have to have all of that.
That's
I
amazing.
know. So yeah, she's got some great stuff coming out. Definitely check out her website too. But yeah,
that just sums up the comic book industry.
That's
It really
outstanding.
does. That's awesome.
So yeah, we definitely are still in the planning stages. So if you have ideas for panels or, you know, have any other
Bob,
things you wanna throw at us?
we're not volunteering for anything ever again.
No.
We've learned our lesson.
No,
We're not.
PenguinCon, they're like, "Yeah, you guys want to help out? Yeah, we'll help out." Then the next day, we literally get a chapter book on our roles and responsibilities. I'm like, whoa. No, I said I'd kind of help a little. I didn't say like I'd run it. You know?
You're the VP now.
Yeah.
Exactly. Oh, you didn't hear?
To clarify, we've not had enough time to write a chapter book, so if you volunteer with us, we won't do that.
They'll make us write it.
So yeah, that's even worse. We're going to be in
We're gonna
charge
lock you in
of.
a closet with that computer that just has a word processor on it.
You
until
don't want
give
us.
a
You
book.
don't want to have us write the rules for your event.
No, I mean, so you guys have some time. Is there anything? What else are you guys looking for in terms of attendees, in terms of guests, in terms of stuff to feature?
well, we're
Because
definitely interested
there
in
is
having
a lot of talent here in the area.
It's true. It's true.
Yeah, pretty soon I think we're going to be opening up. If you want to be a vendor at our event, so if you are local
We're gonna
talent
have a vendor
and
hall.
we haven't heard of you, you can reach out to us. We're going to have an artist tables for sale, and if you want to be on a panel, submit a panel idea to us. We're open to having fan run panels. You don't have to be a professional.
Yep, we want to have
We know the feeling.
workshops.
Yeah, we're planning on doing like workshops. Some of them would be kid oriented, so
some of them, like make your own comic book type
Right.
things, or
to make this kind of more family friendly.
Oh, that was my daughter is loving the last Loot Crate, the make your own comic
yeah.
book that was on the. That's dude, she's in.
Yeah, my daughter's into drawing fairies. She's all reading all these fairy books, and it's like that'd be perfect if there was like a little workshop for how to.
Yeah,
it's funny. Your kids
I used to teach a class for kids on how to draw comic books, so if no one else will run it, I will. It
Oh
will
my god,
happen.
that'd be phenomenal.
And actually, what's really interesting is Green Brain is just so supportive of all kinds of different audiences, all age comics, female comic creators. They feature, like last month was Black History Month, so they had all kinds of comics visible in their shop for Black History Month, like that kind of thing. And they
I've
actually
got them on Facebook, and all the daily posts. Yeah.
So they also help run Kids Read Comics, which is a ComiqueCon in Ann Arbor. I believe it's in August. I have to double
See, and
check
that's where actually I got turned on to them, because after I published that article about taking my daughter to a comic book shop, that was one of the things that people reached out to me about. And so there's this whole kids read comics thing that's out in Ann Arbor. You need to check it out. Bring her there. Yeah.
Yeah. So I haven't been before. I'm hoping to go this year, and really looking forward to that too.
But yeah, we cannot stress enough how awesome they've been helping us out.
Yeah. We have a great committee put together. I mean, Dan and Katie at Green Brain have really been helpful. I mean, they've been helping us make connections. We've got some great stuff in the works, and I also want to stress that like our committee is made up of like pretty much like half and half gender balance.
Yeah,
so there's a lot of people that want to see these female creators just
This
in
isn't
the spotlight.
just a bunch of angry feminists sitting in a room shaking our fists.
See, I wanted to go to that.
That sounds like fun. Where do I sign?
Push buttons. No,
it is pretty across the board saying like we've had enough white guys sitting around telling us their story. We can in fact hear other people's stories too. There's room for that.
Sorry, guys.
No, it goes right into Dave's post. I mean, it's you don't realize it's a problem until you start talking about it.
Get smacked upside the head with it. Yeah.
Until you own one.
Right. That was the I would. Yeah. Oh, the Twitter. How I hate thee.
But love thee at the same time. Right.
Right. It's
Yeah.
Twitter is like the crazy like hot girl that like she's gonna burn your house down, but you can't
But
stop.
it's also great at a networking event.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking.
Because she knows your boss,
and all the Twitter butthole people are like behind fake name and not real picture.
Right.
So yeah, go ahead. Yeah.
Not anymore. Twitter's trying to combat that unsuccessfully.
Good luck with that.
Yeah,
You're going to lose 3/4 of your everything.
It's like, wow, there's a lot of really abusive comments. Maybe we should do something. Can we do something?
Yeah, I mean that's what really spurred me was the whole like Gamergate thing to really start thinking in this direction, because I really couldn't believe that in 2015 and it was 2014 when it started, I suppose, but I was just appalled at what was out there and how people react and why people have such a problem with...
I've got people trying to convince me that it's all made up and it's not really a problem, and I had to pull a post off of our Facebook page because
that post was on fire, worse than the comic book thing.
It went insane, and
people went off the deep end.
I couldn't handle it anymore. Like I'm like literally, you people are so effing stupid that I can't. Like I'm not having this on my wall. Get out.
Yeah.
Party's over. Everyone out of the pool. Go.
We're taking our ball and going home.
Right.
So we are coming up towards the top of the hour. How do we find you online? I know Dave's going to put you all your stuff on the recap, but if anyone wants to get involved, how do we find you?
The website is ComiqueCon.com.
ComiqueCon.com.
We're on
not
Facebook
harder.
as ComiqueCon. We're on Twitter as @ComiqueCon. We're ComiqueCon.tumblr.com.
We're all over the place.
Yeah. You put ComiqueCon in a search engine, we should pop up.
That's a fairly unique name.
You own it all.
Yes. That was like the first thing is finally we locked down name, like, okay, we're registering all the social media.
That's right.
Just lock it down.
Imagine that. You actually did it right. You're not even a marketing agency, are you?
Yeah, what a
No, I'm an
novel
electrician.
concept.
Yeah. Wow, you actually knew how to do all of that.
So I
Who
just
would do
wanna
that in
say-
town?
A novel concept. I don't understand.
We've been getting a ton of support, just from anybody I talk to. They're super excited about it. So
yeah,
I think,
as soon as our Facebook page went live, it blew up.
yeah, it's just the time for something like this to happen. And
I
we're
think it's
really
very
excited.
cool. That's why I reached out. I mean, I thought it was a very, very cool thing, and I'm all about it.
Yeah, I think with everything going on, like you said, with the Gamergate thing, the timing couldn't be better.
Yeah,
Right. And I think that all the publishers are putting out really great titles right now. I think they're finally waking up to the fact that 47% of the comic book readership are women, and they want to start producing titles.
Is it 47%?
47%.
Wow.
Really?
I would have never thought.
Yeah.
Well, I think part of it is people only look at superhero comics when they look at comics.
Yeah.
And superhero comics are kind of like this just tiny chunk of what's out
Hollywood has kind of taken over, right?
Yeah, that too. The movies have brought a lot of women into superhero comics,
Sure.
but even before that, there was this whole chunk of other comics that existed out there, that had nothing to do with superheroes that women have always had a real easy time getting into.
Right.
But we all have daughters, and I have 3 daughters, and I'm raising them all on comics, and
Yeah.
I wouldn't have it any other way.
Nope.
Yeah, for me, I didn't get into comics much later because there was just this social idea that comics were for boys.
Yeah.
And
Right.
it wasn't until I realized, oh, hey, there's Sailor Moon comic books. I can go get Sailor Moon comic books at the comic book store. And that was sort of like the gateway drug.
I didn't even, you know what I realized this weekend? I bought for my daughter, we went book shopping, and she bought Minecraft novels, so they're actually writing stories revolving around.
Oh, yeah.
Blew
Nice.
my mind.
It's huge.
Yep.
It is huge.
And then there's a guy that does mods for Minecraft and made one with my daughter's name, right, Gretchen, and he made a YouTube video saying, hey, we got a new mod, and here's a character, and it's Gretchen. And she came downstairs crying. She was so happy. Like, it was the greatest day of her life. Like,
That is
I'm like, oh my God, what's
unbelievable.
wrong? And she's like, so-and-so, like, whatever. I don't even know the guy's name. Made a mod and with my name. And I'm like, of what mod? Like, and I'm keep up with gaming, and it blew my mind how ridiculous it is. But, it's crazy what they're into.
You can say what you want, but he could probably buy you.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. Cash.
The Minecraft guy, outbid Jay-Z and Beyonce for their house. It's like, how does that work? But hey, we look forward to working with you guys in the and helping you guys promote comics.
Yeah, we'll help
we
promote
know-
it as much as we can.
We know a few folks that might be able to hook in and help out. So
More than one or two.
Thank you guys. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
right.
It was fun having you guys on. We're going to take a quick break, come back with Andy from the Detroit Bus Company. This is the IT and the D Show.
We'll be right back.
Live from the Raw Radio X studios in downtown Detroit, this is the IT and the D Show.
Hi, I'm Brittany Daniel from The Game, and you're listening to IT and the D Show.
Do you know what your storage costs? We do, and that's why we're doing something about it. At Quantum, we think you're just paying too much. Period. We've been helping our customers protect their data since 1981 while reducing their total cost of ownership, often by as much as 40%. We believe your strategic data protection plan should take advantage of all available technology. Let's talk some more at 586-745-4DXI. That's 586-745-4394. Quantum. Established name, new ideas.
This is a previously recorded episode of the IT and the D Show.
We are back, segment 3, episode 81. This is the IT and the D Show. What do 3 IT guys talk about when they are at the bar? This is the show. We are sitting here in the Raw Radio X studios in the Russell Industrial Center. Beautiful, Midtown, Detroit, Michigan. This is Bob the Sales Guy here with Dave the Geek, Jeff, the voice of reason.
Did you bullshit last week?
Yes.
Yes.
I'm a sales guy.
Did you try to bullshit last week?
Yes.
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 God, it's so funny because that ties into
Everything.
The blog that I wrote called The Bullshit Generator. If you ever want to find it, look up IT and the D in Google, The Bullshit Generator. And it's pretty much every marketing guy you've ever met or anyone that tries to overinflate their talent.
That DAC website is still live.
As well as
people use it.
People exactly.
I synergize synergistic synergies. It's pretty much half the events that we don't go to. That's what people's titles are.
Yep.
Well, what do you do? What do you do over there? Like I hate to say it, I do marketing automation. Like, what's that? Well,
It's actually painful even to say those things.
No, and they can't even describe it. Like, what do you do?
No. You have to ask them like 7 times. What do you actually do?
You just
what
get a shrug. They just shrug at you.
No, they're like,
Yeah.
well,
they hope you go away.
I coalesce the existence of the synergies and the dynamics and the e-business.
Occupation. Stand-up philosopher.
Right, exactly.
Stand-up philosopher. I coalesce the vapor of human experience.
Oh, a bullshit artist.
I love you, B. Arthur.
That's right.
But hey, we got Andy here from the Detroit Bus Company.
Detroit
Bus Company. We're gonna take the Detroit Bus Company actually to Applebee's. So you're gonna be our private.
Oh man,
driver.
let's do it.
Yeah, no, it's on.
You and your 20 best friends.
That's right.
With the marching band.
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna tear up. We're gonna tear up.
Marching mariachi band.
We're gonna drink all their Merlot.
Eat all the wings.
But
That's right.
The reason why we reached out to you is you had an interesting week as a human being. I think.
What part of it?
Why don't you start at the beginning?
Which one do you want?
Yeah. When I was a small boy.
It was Sunday night, and I got a text from my mom saying, "Hey, you're on TV, Andy." You know, she's all really excited about it.
You're like,
and I'm like, I don't know what's going on. I don't remember being on the TV this week. And she tells me it's this Detroit Another Chance documentary, and I look it up, and it turns out they uploaded it to YouTube a month before, and it's a Comcast paid documentary like about Detroit, and it's this fake boosterism, sunshine blowing thing that they put up to just feel good about the city, I guess.
And you heard nothing but crickets.
Nothing but crickets. No, it was it basically says that any entrepreneur in the city it's got that on a button. Any entrepreneur in the city owes his existence to the Gilbert crew.
Of course,
solely, of course. Danny himself has dragged us here.
Damn it!
He saved every one of us.
Wouldn't be where I am today.
Can you turn that into a button too?
Hey, we wouldn't be.
It will be now
without them trying to steal our name.
True, that's right.
How did I say that?
Oh.
Edit that out.
Never.
This is a bad idea.
I wrote a Facebook post. I was a little mad about it.
You were a little fired up.
There were some words, and Metro Times picked it up and made it into an article.
Shocker.
Of course they did.
Yeah. Well, Lee's a good guy, but he called me on the phone, and I had some more choice words that I didn't know he was writing down.
Reporters, they cannot be trusted.
They did the same to us. I get it.
Once I saw that in transcript form, it was pretty funny. But so then that got picked up by Consumerist, which is a pretty big consumer rights blog.
Yeah.
And from there, the rest was history. Now it's everywhere. So if you pick a fight against Comcast, you've got a lot of allies from moment number one.
Go figure.
Yeah, weird.
So you might want to check your bill.
Well, so like
your name's gonna be Asshole McGee.
Exactly. the day that went up, the internet went out at our office, and we're like, no shit.
Coincidence.
They're after us.
Tinfoil.
That business class is gone. No.
Well, don't worry. You can get rocket fiber.
Yeah, in maybe like 5 or 10 years. You know, it'll come to Hamtramck eventually. I'm sure. That's right.
So I mean, like, did they like ever tell you? So I mean, I guess so. It was like, what of you got roped into this without your knowledge?
So it was a video that Whole Foods shot. Actually, they got their own production outfit called Dark Rye, and they had like a 5-man crew shoot a video over 3 days, probably like a $80,000 to $100,000 production. And they just tell stories. It was actually a really legitimate piece, and this production outfit just lifted that footage off of YouTube. They just grabbed it and didn't ask anybody.
Gotta love YouTube.
We were in the credits twice though, so they
go.
thanked us super hard in this wank fest.
Wow.
Hey man, don't you appreciate the free publicity, man?
Yeah, dude.
Can't you just say thank you and be on your way?
I know. I should trade it for the page views, but no, I couldn't stand for that.
Does page views pay your mortgage? Probably not.
Oh no, Goodwill does though.
Okay.
People feeling really good about us. Yeah. I can cash it in for diesel and bus insurance.
It's like Reddit karma.
Yeah. I've got tens of that.
Right.
But
like 'em.
The the producer reached out and he apologized and said, this kind of thing shouldn't have happened. It won't happen again. We don't know how this happened. And then a guy reached out on Facebook.
I'll tell you how it happened. One of your idiots lifted the video off YouTube.
Well, the funny thing is,
sum it up in one word: lazy.
Piracy.
Somebody reached out on Facebook and was like, "Oh my God, these guys stole my footage too for a totally different thing." And so this is pathological. This isn't just a one-time thing. So we're not sure what we're gonna do.
So you're not sorry you did it. You're sorry you got caught.
Exactly.
Well, that's what Metro Times and another blog that we won't name, Doucheline Detroit, took
It's like Kevin Nealon. So these complete jackwads that we don't really talk about Doucheline Detroit that just ran this complete piece like Metro Times, and they have no idea what the hell they did. Hit piece. What they're talking about.
They grabbed a blog.
Clickbait.
Dave wrote a blog a while ago basically saying if you're going to complain about Detroit, if you're not doing something about it, go do something about it.
Mm-hmm.
And that turned into Dave being the biggest racist since.
He's a suburban white male
So,
that just hates Detroit.
Doucheline took a small excerpt. Metro Times went even lazier than that.
Mm-hmm.
Dave, this suburbanite white guy says, if you don't like what's happening in Detroit, move. That's what he wrote. Did you read it?
No. Deadline spun this thing too, and it made me sound like
of course they did.
Made me sound like a total tool bag, which isn't wrong, but it just thanks. They have curated the angriest bunch of commenters I've ever seen in my life.
I'm convinced that
it's the new Reddit.
No, I'm convinced that the top 12 commenters on that crap are all the
Alan
guy that
Stam.
wrote. They're all out. They're all out. They are. They have to be.
Just sitting there in his underwear, hammering away.
Exactly, with his
hateful
12
stuff.
different Facebook.
He's got 15 different accounts.
Right.
It's like the Warcraft guy from South Park, sitting there dusting
Must
the
be one
Cheetos off
tough
him.
badass.
How do you kill that which has no life?
I'm not an artard.
So what the hell can you do about this other than just riding it?
Just be really upset on the internet about it. No,
that's what the internet is for, isn't it?
We don't know.
Righteous indignation. That's what the internet is for.
Yeah.
Let's not bother curing cancer. Let's just argue on the internet.
Right.
That's our chief export. We got plenty of that to go around.
Right.
Yes. But no, we're not sure. It's something that.
Well, I would assume Whole Foods would have something to say about
Whole
it.
Foods is pretty mad. They're pretty mad. I sent an email to their people because I was like, hey, did you guys sell this footage? And they're like, absolutely not. And so they've got their own fight against NBC, who is the one that aired it. So there's a whole lot of happy characters in this one. So I'm just in the middle. I'm a pawn.
Well, outstanding. So on the lighter side, so let's talk about what. So Detroit Bus Company. I mean, so that's what the video was shot about, and that. So I mean, when I was telling people who was coming on the show, they were like, the people that run the bus system, and I'm like, no, not the public.
SEMTA,
not the public transit people.
It's not even SEMTA anymore, is it?
Right. So for those who don't know, what and who haven't read the internet in the last week, what is Detroit Bus Company?
So I launched the Detroit Bus Company in 2012 to work on transit issues in the city of Detroit. Our transit sucks here. It's really bad. Oh my God. They're trying, and it's not.
Who's trying? Wait, who's trying?
Really, honest to God, they're trying. They're trying. Really, they just don't have the funding because
I'm trying to be a professional football player too. I don't think it's going to work.
It's not working out.
It's holding out for a management.
It's genetics, dude. You're fighting it. Anyway, so no, the way that it works is that it's based on population. It's not based on size. So we got a big city with a small amount of people, and so you just don't have sufficient bus service to cover this whole city.
Yeah, there's no tax base.
Exactly, and
Right.
so folks, their bus route goes away and they lose their livelihood, and you have a whole neighborhood fall into nothingness, and it's a story told over and over and over again. And so I started it with no particular plan and no funding, but one bus. And I figured I'm going to run this thing from Royal Oak and Ferndale to the city. You pay $5 to get on. You can get from the suburbs into Detroit to work. You can go from the city up to the suburbs to work. And then we added a second bus doing a circulator around the city, and surprisingly, for 8 months, it worked.
Wait, hold on. The Booty Bus goes out of business. Detroit Bus Company goes in business. Coincidence?
Just a little bit of paint and a brand change. Cashed in the bootybus.co.uk but we ran that for 8 months, and then we got approached by the Skillman Foundation, who said they had a problem with kids getting to their programs reliably. And we took a look at it, and we came up with what was about a $2 million a year solution. And they said no. They said think a little.
It's a foundation.
Yeah, exactly. Try a little harder. So we scaled that back to a bus, and in 2013 alone, we gave 5,700 free rides to kids in the city.
Wow.
So year 2, we got to fundraise half of it ourselves. They said, we'll give you half. You got to find the other half. And so to Indiegogo we go.
Okay. So, and that's the Youth Transit Alliance that you were talking about.
Yep, exactly, the YTA.
So what is, I guess, what are they, what are the kids trying to get to? Is it school? Is it after-school programs? Is it, what's the gist?
So Detroit kids can pretty reliably get to school. If they get a ride home from the public bus system, they get bused straight home. They don't get to go to any of the after-school programs. And so what we do is we bridge the gap from their schools to their after-school programs and home.
Gotcha.
There's 40 after-school programs in Southwest Detroit alone, totally free. Everything from graphic design, web design, T-shirts, T-shirt screen printing, karate camp. I mean, you name it, and a kid can do it. But typically, the kid can only pick what programs are near them, which ones they can physically get to in their environment, which is pretty limited. Now it's about what's a kid passionate about. Grace in Action is a program that actually kids run a web design shop, and they actually do client work. You can actually hire them to build a site. Yeah, they build WordPress and Squarespace sites for you. I mean, it's pretty. And
we should hire them.
You can, we should. Bob can just resell their services.
Exactly.
And they sew quilts on the off hours.
Right. Yeah.
Sell them
Just
with the Rust
sweatshop.
Belt.
Yeah.
But if the kid completes the program, they get a MacBook Pro to take home with them.
Nice. Wow. Very cool.
Yeah. So
very cool.
So we get kids there because they have to attend regularly. They can't go once or twice. Then it gets cold and dark, and so we bridge that gap. But it's expensive. It's really transit is typically subsidized like 80 to 90%. So your $2 bus ride actually costs $20 to $25 to provide. And it's no different. The buses are the same. Diesel costs what it costs.
I don't know that I ever thought about that.
No.
Well, they're all subsidized.
You just thought it was $2?
Yeah, I thought the diesel was cheap.
I can't even tell you the last time I hopped on a bus that wasn't like a party bus. So,
yeah, you and 700,000 other people.
Right.
So it's about $1,300 a day to keep it moving.
Really? Wow.
Because we've got fuel and insurance and depot and transit planners and you name it.
Drivers,
those are pretty important, I guess. Can't do it all. It's rolling. I mean, it rolls 5 days a week. It went today. It'll go tomorrow. But if we don't raise any money, it stops March 31st. That's the end.
Oof.
I know.
Really? So I guess so you've got the Indiegogo out there. Like what is your funding goal? How are you doing so far? What's the scoop?
So we need to finish to the end of the school year, we need to raise $97,000.
Gotcha.
Which includes the Indiegogo fees and the fees to print the shirts and all that. The money we need is $87,000, which seems like a terrifying amount of money.
So let me throw something out, Andy, real quick.
Let's hear it.
You got crap conferences going on with crap fashion shows, with corporations throwing
crap
money,
amounts of dollars,
and it's like $1,200 a ticket
to put out crap meatballs and crap booze, and you could actually be doing something, instead of having a
actually getting kids to
go figure
quality programs.
Go figure. That's the stuff that makes me angry.
We haven't gotten those companies to give a crap yet.
How do we change?
So
they won't because you're on our show.
I will back up. I will say Converse funded 2 buses for us to refurbish, and some few months operation, and Microsoft gave us some Surface Pros. Nobody's excited.
Yeah, but
nobody's
do the buses run on Surface Pros?
All the conductors have the Pros to do the attendance and stuff now. And then also they let the kids operate them on the bus. We've got the Incipio case for them, and that so they get to build technological literacy. The whole point is that the bus is part of their Angry Birds all day.
Exactly.
Angry Birds
it's going to be
day.
Minecraft all day.
So the kids actually learn how to interface, because a lot of them probably haven't used a Surface Pro before or an iPad and so building that
they still made those
literacy. Yeah, for the NFL, that's all they make them for.
Yeah, right, exactly.
So So you said end of March. So I mean, like, where are you so far?
So we are. The campaign's been going 4 days. We're $10,000 raised so far.
Nice. Awesome.
And so the goal is set on Indiegogo as 20. So it doesn't seem like such a huge thing. But we got a ticker going that shows you how far we've gotten. So we're pushing. Supposed to be on Fox 2 next week.
Very cool.
Channel 4. So hopefully that'll. And you know, these listeners hopefully might pitch in.
So I'm assuming the easiest way to find the Indiegogo is just to go to your site,
youthtransit.org.
Okay,
that's it. Real easy.
How'd you get the .org for that?
Oh man, I cruised GoDaddy for a long time to get that. We got the .co.
Oh,
we got the .limo for
.biz.
No, we don't have the .biz. Somebody better not buy that.
Kind of makes you wonder what's at youthtransit.com, though.
No, I'm going. I was.
There are so many TLDs now.
Tweet out the URL. I didn't want to.
Oh my god,
that's one of the stories we didn't get to. I don't know if you guys saw this or not, but Google is like infuriating everybody because they applied to basically take over
the app.
They bought
100 new TLDs. And they are all private, closed TLDs. So, like, they wouldn't be open for registration. And they included, like, .dev, .app, I mean, it was just...
Sergey Brin. Right. Larry Page.
They're not... People are not amused by the Google.
.jobs was my favorite.
I know.
Oh, who's got .bacon? That's going to be $1 billion idea.
Yeah,
they'd be all over that.
Can't you apply for it? I think all you need is money.
Wow. All you need is money. You know? That's
that's
all. It's no big deal.
Details. .cloud, .search. The one that made and no pun intended, it made me laugh. They're doing .lol is the other one they wanted.
That made you laugh, huh?
Hey, Dave. Well, you know, we still have itandthd.ninja.
Yes, we do. Because we're idiots.
Yes, we are idiots.
How would you approve .ninja?
Because we were drinking.
Yeah, I can.
No,
was
I
super
understand
wasted.
why we bought. I understand why we bought, but why would they approve the?
Why
actual-
would it exist for us to buy it?
GoDaddy actually called me to verify the purchase. I'm like, yes, I want that.
Sir, are you sure? So, youthtransit.org, that's where they can find about the Kickstarter, which runs through the end of this month. And so, Detroit Bus Company. So, I mean, are you only in this space now? Like, are you not doing any of the other stuff anymore?
No, so we're a social enterprise. So that's the new buzzword of the year. So we offer charters and tours, and that's our for-profit side, and then we use that to subsidize the nonprofit side.
Okay.
And so we're an L3C, which is a new designation. And so our tours we're ramping up for the spring. We've got the Prohibition tour. We've got Drunks of Antiquity. We go to all the historic bars. We're going to unleash an auto plant tour.
Why are we not taking these?
Dude,
right.
You can drink on them.
We need to have like a co-event like every other week with these guys.
Let's broadcast from the bus.
Oh, remote unit.
Let's do it.
Can we like attach some sort of like satellite feed to the top
like, how do we get the
We've got
connectivity
4G.
for that?
4G.
Can we get like a Wi-Fi?
We can just record it and broadcast it later.
I like this idea.
It's not very complicated, though.
No,
complicated. It's way more fun.
We're probably overthinking this.
Exactly. I'm all about simple. So no, that's cool. I mean, so like so that information is available out on the site. They can find out. Like, I mean, is it just book it? Is it regularly scheduled? Is it
thedetroitbus.com? We're open 5 days a week. The tours, the schedule will probably release at the end of this week. DetroitTours.com. We bought all these domains. DetroitTours.com was a premium domain.
Sound like us.
Yeah. Right. We had to argue with this guy and negotiate with him. And
Then you get a double decker and you can call it the Double Dutch Bus?
That's our hold music, by the way. Double Dutch
nice.
Bus.
I saw that you had posted that pic that you've got the double decker bus. That would be your dream.
It's for sale in Grand Rapids. It's so close, but so terrible. It's like 60 years old and British.
Right.
It's not reliable.
It smells like pudding.
Figgy pudding. Can't have your meat until you eat your pudding.
You play that Pink Floyd song.
Over and over.
Hey, I wouldn't have a problem with that.
No, all right. So it's the DetroitBusCompany.com?
TheDetroitBus.com.
TheDetroitBus.com.
Yeah. They want like $8,000 for DetroitBus.com. It's not going to happen. No.
Keep
it.
Like the idiot that had Detroit.net. Holding out for $15,000.
Keep
Kiss
it.
my ass.
The guy that bought Steam.com, I think he's gonna make out soon. Maybe.
Yeah.
maybe.
That's a safe bet. All right, so the DetroitBus.com, the YouthTransit.org. We'll make sure we get all those in the recap. Thanks for coming out, man.
Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. Appreciate it.
And please, by all means, hang out. We're going to do another segment. We're going to drink a little more, and then we're going to dive in with the Nain Rouge.
Yeah, this is the IT and the D Show.
We will be right back.
Live from the Raw Radio X studios in downtown Detroit, this is the IT in the D Show.
Hello, everybody. It's Jason David Frank, the Green Ranger, and you are listening to IT in the D.
This is a previously recorded episode of the IT and the D Show.
And welcome back, the illustrious segment 4.
Still dreaming about Jesse's girl.
Segment 4?
Yeah,
episode
segment 4.
81.
Episode 81.
We just had the
4.
Iron Chef break, apparently.
This is the, talking about holiday. This is the IT and the D Show. We're sitting here in the Raw Radio X studios in the Russell Industrial Center. Beautiful Midtown Detroit, Michigan. This is Bob the Sales Guy, here with Dave the Geek, Jeff, the voice of reason. We are drinking delicious Falling Down beer. Go check them out, 10 in DeQuinder. Eat the Reuben egg rolls; they will change your life.
Yeah, go for the beer, stay for the egg rolls.
Right.
Oh, they're so good.
I made the run on Saturday,
So
and
good.
once again, I was told, do not come home without egg
Did you ever
rolls.
have the Reuben egg roll? Do you go to Falling Down yet, Andy?
No, never been.
Oh, they have Reuben
Sorry.
egg rolls. They're
It's-
homemade.
It's a Reuben
Yeah.
inside an egg roll.
It sounds sacrilegious.
It's outstanding.
It sounds like you're breaking the Geneva Convention with that one.
And you get a Thousand Island dipping sauce.
That's their ploy to kill us.
Right, no, there's crack in it. There's a whole bunch of stuff.
And I think there's actually catnip in it.
It could be. Or people nip. Who knows?
Hey, are you still here, Joe?
Yes.
You've been
Is this
you've
thing
been
on?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
You've been a good sport. We appreciate you hanging out. We have Joe here with has I guess there's 1,000 things how to introduce him with Folkteller Tales. Are you with Caliber Comics or do they publish you?
They publish us.
Got it. And the book's out called Nain Rouge.
Nain Rouge.
Nain Rouge.
Sorry. I know the French. I speak German, so I don't know the difference. You know.
Yeah, so it's not Rouge. Not
No.
nine.
Das
Nine.
Nine.
And there are 9 of them.
Exactly. But I mean, I'm looking through the book, and I mean, the artwork is absolutely.
The artwork is incredible. The book itself is unreal. It's like, I can't believe the whole thing's glossy. That's just a production. It's unreal.
Well, and so I mean, it is, and we had posted the artwork, and people like got a kick out of it and liked it, but so I mean, let's take a step back. So it's not just a graphic novel. I mean, even though it's cool, like so, it's got it's all about a little piece of Detroit folklore. So, like, for those who don't know, because
I'll be honest, I didn't really know much about this at all.
That was the other. Yeah, we posted it on that. People were like, "Wow, that's cool." I had never heard
Not
of
a
Nain Rouge
clue
before.
Yeah.
I was in the same boat a few years ago. So, the Nain Rouge, it's a 300-year-old legend that a lot of people hadn't heard about until just recently. But I discovered it probably about 10 years ago. And then when things were really, really crappy around here, around 2008, I ended up starting to write a young adult fiction series. And so I wrote a trilogy, released the first book in 2009, the second in 2012, and then the third and final book of the trilogy came out last summer. And so the graphic novel is actually the first book in the trilogy in graphic novel form.
So yeah, it's a visual representation of your stories that you're essentially your fan fiction of you discovering this folklore legend, right?
Yeah, and actually there wasn't a lot written about the Nain Rouge. I mean, when I started to research it, there were just a couple stories that.
And I'm trying to remember. It translates as the Red Dwarf.
Yes, Red Dwarf. Yeah.
So explain, like,
Kind of when Danny holds his breath too long.
So explain what Cliff Notes. Well, what is the legend, the folklore? What's it all about?
Yeah, well, the folklore is the Nain Rouge is a harbinger of doom that appears just before bad events.
Okay,
and that's what the legend said, and that was it. There was no backstory.
That's why we've never seen him at one of our events.
No.
Never.
No. We always think they're there,
right?
But there wasn't any backstory, like why is he the harbinger of doom and what's his origin, and so I thought it was very fertile ground to create that whole backstory and really round the legend out and bring it back to the modern world. So the trilogy that I wrote really brings the legend off the pages from 300 years and makes it more modern.
So and there is there's a current tie. There's the march that goes on downtown, which it's this month. It's in March.
Yeah, they always do it the third.
Thanks, Dave.
I was trying to not have a USA Today. Hey, did you hear what I read? Did I tell you what I read in the USA Today? Today? I was trying to not have one of those moments.
Allow me to introduce myself.
Right.
Well, they always do it at the spring equinox because the theme of the festival is ushering in spring. It's a spring festival.
Okay.
So it's brooming out the Nain Rouge and the bad energy from the city and ushering in spring and hope and renewal. That's the overall theme. What's kind of cool is I've been involved in the march since its first year in 2009, and I actually met Francis, who started the march, and I was just publishing the first book, and so we were kind of running parallel paths with this legend.
Right.
And so they've incorporated a lot of the backstory and everything of the Nain Rouge into the march itself over the years,
cool.
which is cool.
So, like I said, so for those who aren't, I guess, familiar with the work, where does somebody, where can somebody find a copy of this? Is it in local stores? Is it just from the website? Is it where does Caliber have this out there?
Caliber's got it everywhere. I mean, you can get it in local stores. You can get it up on Amazon.
And if you buy this, do you get a free Dead World soda because they're also hooked into that?
Well, actually, the Dead World soda will be at the march, so you can. They'll probably have some free product there if you wanna come down to the march this month.
Yeah, that's how I knew Caliber because I went to the launch party for that. So yeah. Interesting stuff. So, I guess what do people what should other than the artwork is fantastic? I mean, what should people know about this? That you have an open audience. I mean, and like I said, and the vast majority of folks that that were commenting about it didn't know anything about Nain Rouge. So, I mean, why do they want to know about it? What's from your perspective since you wrote it? What's the Detroit backstory and hook?
Yeah, I think this is everyone's story. I just kind of feel like I'm one of the stewards of the story, that I discovered it, and as a writer, invested time and energy and my creativity to bring it to light and to share it with others. So the first thing is this is all of our story, and I think being born and raised in the Detroit area, I think the people here are unique. There's a unique spirit of sort of intestinal fortitude,
right.
and fighting through things, and we're an edgy bunch, but we're honest and hardworking, and so that all comes out in the story, and this is our folklore. So much folklore seems like so distant, like it's got to be European or another part of the world, another part of the country,
right.
But this is ours. This is everyone's, and I think it's important for everyone to know about because it's part of if you were born and raised here, or if you moved here, you live here for any extended amount of time, you're part of the region. And this story is part of the folklore of the region. So, everybody owns it. That's how I feel. And so that's why I think it's an important story. And the messages, there's a lot of strong messages there about hope and perseverance and why do bad things happen to good people. And, these are themes that carry on and on throughout the trilogy and even throughout the graphic novel. So
yeah, I think I asked you when I met you, hey, is this, I got kids 10, 8, or, is this all ages? And I'm looking, hey, the characters in here are from middle school, right? So it's probably, is it all ages? But
is it kid friendly?
Yeah,
it's very kid friendly. There's no F-bombs or, there's a lot of adventure and suspense, but there's no blood or gore or anything in it. So it's definitely 10 years and up and really family oriented.
Perfect.
So at the bar, you said that a year or so ago you knew nothing about comics. You had never even been to a ComiqueCon before, and you wrote this the story. All of a sudden, fast forward, now you've got a graphic novel comic. Is that life-changing? How does that go from not knowing anything about that industry to turning that into a graphic novel, your story? Hooking up with artists and stuff.
Yeah, it's been kind of mind-blowing for me. And I'll tell you how all this started, is because in our modern culture, people don't read like they used to, and they read differently. They read in smaller chunks and smaller
short
pieces.
attention span.
And we have it's not just that, we've become a very visual culture.
Yeah.
And as a writer, the challenge is, how do I get someone I think I've written a good story. Other people have read it, but how do you get someone to read it? How do you get someone to make that commitment to read the book?
Right.
And so I've been working with Carl Winans, who's my business partner. He's like this visual guru, genius guy. And so we put our heads together, and I said, we really need to find a way to visualize literature. And that's why we went and did the graphic novel. We did the Kickstarter. We raised the money and did the graphic novel. And then the next thing is, we're starting to work on the film. But the whole thing, it's all about the visualization of literature. And we've actually created a term that I've coined, I call crypto folk, which means hidden stories. So our goal is, the Nain Rouge is the first one, but as Folkteller Publishing, the company that we've set up, it's to go and find other regional legends, not just around the country, but around the world, and bring them and make them more visual and more interactive, and find a new way to tell these stories.
Dave, you know what would be cool? Sorry, Jeff. You know what would be cool? Who do we have in the studio that had the app that would bring books to life?
Magic Book.
Magic Book.
Was it Magic Book?
Yeah.
I don't know if you talked to them at all, Magic Book?
I haven't talked to them. I know of them.
Yeah. So they were on the show not too long ago, but basically you can use, basically hold your phone over the top of, and it'll basically scan the book, and there's certain parts of it that'll actually come to life on your phone or tablet.
That's really cool. So like an augmented reality.
Yeah,
exactly. Yeah, it's exactly what it was.
It would be a great hook to kind of take this to another level, not just to for engagement and for
sure.
cool factor. So maybe when we're done, we'll introduce you guys.
Cool.
Yeah.
Well, one of the other things we've talked about with an app is tying it to your GPS. So you could be traveling, say you're in Nashville, and there's a Folkteller app that pops up and says, "Hey, do you know the story of the Nashville slasher? How would you like to receive this story? Do you want to read this story? Do you want to watch a short video? Do you want to watch the film?
Push notifications.
So I mean, this is for me as a writer, this is all part of visualizing storytelling.
So all right, so as a writer, so two questions I wanted to ask. So did you write this story with the idea that one day it would become a graphic novel and then a film? And then second, like how much of your original story was cut out of or made it into the graphic novel? Because obviously it's two different mediums. You've got long story form, translated into a comic book form.
The answer is, going into it, no.
Okay.
As a writer and someone who creates literature, my goal was that people would read the book.
Okay.
And then when I found out that after my
Not
mom
so
and
much.
dad had finished reading it, and my, a few family members, it's like, okay,
well, it's like,
come on.
Mr. Wrigley, who owned a tire factory, and then when all of his employees were walking around chewing bits of rubber, said, hey, maybe I should do something with that. And thus gum was born.
Hey, I read your book. Oh, you're the one.
Yeah.
Where do you think Stroh's ice cream came from?
Yeah, exactly.
Actually, there wasn't one of the cheese companies. That's when Pabst went out of business, or when Pabst during Prohibition, they made cheese, and they sold it to, I don't know.
Yeah. But was it tough translating what you had written and what you had hoped people would read in novel form? Was it tough translating that into a comic book form, like cutting stuff out or shifting stuff around?
One of the things that I learned was I wanted to get other creative people involved.
Yeah,
and to get them involved instinctively, I said, you have to read the story. You have to read the story, and then you tell me the story back. I'm not going to put any parameters on it.
Right.
And so the people that I found that got it, because really, as the creator, there's a nucleus in the story that I wanted to maintain across media.
Right.
So getting an artist to tell the story back to me, but from an artist perspective, I'm like, you got it, and go for it. And then giving them the creative reign to go and create that graphic novel, which is what Patrick did. And he had free reign to do that. So it wasn't about cutting out things from the story. It was how he was going to interpret the story that I'd written.
Well, and so, you mentioned the whole movie process, and we were talking about that a little bit earlier, where a lot of people want to co-opt the story and turn it into something that it's not.
What do I got to read the book for? We'll go out to the movie. I'm out in 2 hours.
Don't make fun of me.
So my only constraints on that was that I had final right for the screenplay. So, and I'm not writing the screenplay. I mean, that's a whole other style of writing that I'm not familiar. Like, and this whole going.
That's where a true editing process would probably come into play, because
Yeah.
you got to whittle it down to 90 minutes, right?
Right. And the thing is, you can't use exposition. You can't explain in a movie. You show.
Yeah.
Right.
So it's a whole different where, as a writer of literature. You do a lot of explaining and setting up and things like that.
Well, yeah, I mean, you look at Stephen King 101. I mean, all of his movies wind up being either so incredibly long or so incredibly annoying to people who read the books, and yet one of the best movies based on a Stephen King story, Stand By Me, because it was a short story.
Yeah.
You didn't have to.
Creep Show. Come on.
No.
Come on.
No.
Come on.
What about Running Man? That was
Thank
pretty
you.
good.
Yeah. I said one of.
Just giving you shit.
That's not even a segment 5.
I want Running Man to be a show now. Forget American Ninja. Forget all those stupid karaoke shows on network TV. Running Man.
No more The Voice.
No, if you're on death row, make that happen. Throw them on a hockey
It's your
rink.
chance to get free.
Yeah, exactly.
The Voice would be interesting if your song sucks, you lose a limb.
That too. I want that too.
I've always said they need a penalty system for weathermen. I've always said
Yes,
that.
thank
Where
you.
like if you predict like 18 inches of snow and 3 shows up, you lose like a finger.
And pop stars.
Right.
Capital punishment.
Yeah.
That's right.
Taylor Swift would be assassinated 37,000 times.
So where do people find out more about this? About the graphic novel, and I guess that's the other question is
where do we buy it?
Well, you mentioned the graphic, but I mean, is the novel still out there? I mean,
Oh
are
yeah,
there other?
it's out there. All 3 books are out there. They're up on Amazon. You can also go to our website, which is folktellerstories.com.
Okay.
And Caliber, you go to Caliber Comics, or call your local book retailer, whichever ones are left.
Right. So I was going to say, like, are you doing like the local con circuits and all that kind of stuff as well?
Yeah, we were at the Great Lakes Comic-Con this past weekend, and we've done a couple comic book store signings. Again, that whole market is completely new to me. I was telling Jeff, we walked the floor at Motor City Comic-Con last year. And first of all,
You're just blown away.
Yeah, well, first of all, $40 to get in, and I'm like, wait, that's just to get in the door to buy more things.
Yeah,
I'm
yes.
Like, what am I? What
welcome to our world.
Yeah, and I walk in there, I was like, holy crap! It just blew me.
And there was a line around the building.
Yeah.
Well, that was 2 years ago.
And I got to pay Burt
true.
Young $30 to mumble at me and write incoherently on a 8x10.
All right, my name's Burt Young.
Best moment of your life, though, and you know it was.
Paulie.
Oh, you crazy? I don't get mad. When I get mad, he gets mad.
Right. So, folktellertales.com?
Folkteller Stories.
Stories.com.
That's your new Penguicon. Save for it.
No, that was just 3 different words that were weird. Yeah, no, I'm still good with Penguicon, thanks.
Right.
Yeah.
Just checking.
And still able to say it.
And he's still able to say it.
Right.
It's almost 11.
What else haven't we got to that people ought to know about this?
Well, we're working on the film, and it's in pre-production.
Okay.
And we had been working with Martin Kleba from Pirates of the Caribbean. Martin helped us with the Kickstarter. He was in our Kickstarter video.
The little person.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's actually from Troy, and he's actually now in Australia shooting Pirates of the Caribbean 5. But he's very interested in playing the Nain Rouge. So that's in negotiation. But
cool.
we have a director. We've got our producer out in L.A. who's also from Michigan. That's the other thing is, it's very important to us that this becomes.
I was going to say, are you going to shoot it here?
Oh, it's definitely going to be shot here, and there'll be some people out in L.A. and out in Hollywood that get pulled in. The whole film thing is a whole nother. We've spent the past year and a half doing it right, and we've had offers that we've turned down, and because this is a very important project. Again, I feel like
because you don't want it to be another piece of crap movie like Leprechaun.
Yeah, well, that's exactly it.
That was not crap. It was amazing.
It's for everyone involved. It's important.
So when you say doing it right, like what? Not to belittle it, but like, how are you learning as you go with the whole film experience? What? Are you relying on friends that you know in the film industry to steer you in the right direction, so you're not getting, going down the wrong path or
all of the above? And what I've learned is it's a business, and there's experts in the business, and I'm not one of them. So really, I've taken on the role.
But how does one even like break into that? Like, what do you do? Like, show up in Hollywood and say, "Hey, I've got this idea for a film." Like, how does is that literally what?
This is the way I describe Hollywood and making a film. you have people that are trying to convince everyone else that the vapor that they have is a solid. So, like, in technology, they talk about vaporware.
Vaporware.
But this is like really like going out and saying, I have this solid object that you need to invest in or you need to become part of, and it's completely a vapor.
Yeah.
But the bizarre nature of the whole thing is if enough people believe that it's a solid, that's what it becomes.
Well, Joe, do you see the Power Rangers
So
fan
Hollywood
film?
is basically a religion, which explains Scientology.
So
It's all becoming clear now.
Last week, someone brought out a Power Rangers fan film, which was like a little dark, kind of like the Dark Knight versus like old '60s campy Batman. It was that much of a disparity between the kids show and it was done. It was a fan film, and it was better than 90% of anything I've seen.
A 15-minute fan fiction film.
It was amazing how it was shot, filmed, done, produced. And it's like why can't Hollywood just give me?
Yeah, it was actually better than the Star Wars prequels.
Edgy. It was insanely good
because they're busy making Footloose again, Bob.
Not again. Ghostbusters
with an all-female
with
cast,
chicks,
right?
Yeah.
So it's Ghostbusters, but
Ghostbusterettes,
but bridesmaids.
No,
I think here's the problem. Like, I think there's a way to do it to get film done properly, and the problem is once they go through the Hollywood machine, they get neutered.
It's politics.
Absolutely. And
once you actually get to the job, you made so many backroom deals and crap that it's you're never able to
and you're neutered.
You don't actually make any money on that until you have made the prequel.
Right.
You become a Stepford producer, and you're just like, yes, sir.
Yeah.
And you just put crap out, and people buy it anyway. God bless. I hate everything. I swear to God.
Well, this is what I've been told, and what I've seen in the past 2 years when we've been working on this is the recommendations we had was you either make a short film, or you do a private equity and you get the film done, and then you do the circuit.
Tour. Yep.
You do the circuit, and then as you go to all the festivals and try to win awards or get exposure, that's when Hollywood comes in because they're really just they have all the channels.
Yeah,
So
and at that point you're just looking for
marketing and sales.
distribution.
You know what needs to come back? After school specials.
Yes.
I'm like, that needs to be a
the whole Michael J. Fox thing.
Scott Baio is available.
It's an interesting non sequitur, but okay.
No.
I'll allow it.
We're published, make the movies and make them after school specials, though.
God, what were some of those good ones?
They were all amazing.
Scott Baio getting high, I remember that one.
Yeah.
There was one that I caught crap for a long time because the character's name was Dave Phillips and he was a pyro, and he
I don't remember
burned
that
his
one.
family's house down, and the tagline was, "I didn't mean to start a fire," and that was that was.
This is from an era that I wasn't a part of.
No.
That was an amazing era. You'd rush home. And basically, you'd hope for either the after-school special being good,
They'd start
or
at 4:15,
or like
Transformers.
He-Man Transformers.
Yeah,
you'd get out your Ovaltine decoder ring.
No.
Yeah,
We're not that old.
50s,
We're not that old.
We were running home for Sanka.
Yeah.
and
Tang.
Anderson. Yeah.
Who invited this clown?
Grab your Red Rider.
Have a tab.
Well, and if you were from this area, there was the 4 o'clock movie. Remember they'd have Monster Week where they
That was
have
the monster,
right.
the creature feature.
Yeah.
The creature feature.
That was a
Creature
big deal.
feature was the shit. That was so good.
God, we're old. You were just saying that everything that from 19 that's
I
all
told you,
35 years old.
I remember waking up at 5:30 in the morning on school days so I could watch Great Space Coaster.
Great Space Coaster, yes.
Well, we actually, and that's one of the ones we missed last week, where the voice of the Space Ghost died.
Yeah, he died.
Wasn't he in Herculoids too?
Space Ghost. Yeah.
Herculoids was my favorite. With Glop and Gleep.
Gloop and go,
Yeah, exactly. Which made no sense. The Triceratops had shot.
I can't watch Flash Gordon now without thinking of that stupid episode 1.
Right. All right, well, hey, we are coming up against the end of the show, so let's make sure the ladies had to leave, but they are out at ComiqueCon. So it is ComiqueCon.com.
Comique.
That just rolls off the tongue.
Yeah, Comique. I told you, I just have a mental block on it. I don't know. I couldn't say it 2 hours ago. I can't say it now. Yeah, and then so Detroit Bus Company.
That's me.
Is out at the Detroit Bus.
TheDetroitBus.com.
And the Youth Transit Alliance is out at youthtransit.org.
You got it.
With the Kickstarter that's got the target for the end of the month.
Mhm.
So we'll make sure we push the hell out of that.
Please, God.
And then and then the Nain Rouge comic can be found out at, I'm not even going to try it again because I know I got it wrong last time.
FolktellerStories.com.
Folkteller
or Caliber Comics.
Excellent. Guys, thanks for coming out and hanging
Yeah,
out.
fun show.
Yeah,
this was great.
Thank you. A lot of good information. I'm happy. This was a good one.
This was episode 81 of the IT and the D Show. We will see you next week.
Thanks for listening.
And don't forget, we are IT and the D, and
You are not.
Oh, well, hold on. Just give me
One last thing, Dave, before you cue us out.
Yeah.
For the love of God, please go out to iTunes and give us a 5-star rating.
It's not going to happen. No, give us a 1-star.
No.
I don't care.
Give us, tell
Andy,
Andy.
Here, I'll do it right now. Nepotism.
What is best in life?
Well, give us a 1-star. Andy.
Crush your
I don't
enemies.
care. Give us
See
any
them
worst
worst
rating.
Meatball sandwich ever.
They hear the lamentation of the women.
All right. We're out of here.
All right. This was. See you next week. Beat it.
Beat it.
The emergency destruct system is now activated.
Conan, what is best in life? To crush your enemies, see them driven before you, and to hear the lamentation of the women.
Long live Flash! You've saved your Earth. Have a nice day.
I have come here to chew bubblegum and kick ass. And I'm all out of bubblegum.
Nice shooting, son. What's your name? Murphy.
Make the run. The run.
Game over, man. It's game over.
It's over, Johnny. It's over.
Nothing is over. Nothing. You just don't turn it off.
I can't say no, and I don't really want to, so.
Well, especially with the back doors open.
Yo! Hold up! Time out! Time out! Y'all take a chill. You need to cool that shit out. And that's the double truth, Ruth.
Bob loves it in the can.
I hope this was as much fun for you as it was for me.
That's why I like it in the can.
Joe on the trees.
Fear me.
My job is to make sure this program is morally upright and cultural and wholesome.
Shut up, Mimsy! Shut up, Mimsy! Shut up, Mimsy!
Why would Buick put their cars next to the Bentleys? Why? That's not marketing. The alphabet. It's brilliant. Yeah, I can't take that position. That analogy sucks because it's right. Because you're getting your 8-track tuned up. Are we at a break yet? Yeah, so now I'm just doing stupid stuff to make me laugh.
Venture capital is not the end game.
When are we going to talk about me?
Jane, you ignorant slut.
It's my show. I can say what I want.
Kiss my ass, go home, unplug, get off the goddamn internet. You are everything that is wrong with the internet right now.
You're so white right now.
I'm the whitest guy in the room. Just explain it to me. I love this city. I was banging on the wang.
Really? Should we talk about this? Tag team it. Should I keep going or should I stop?
Can I just say, it's been great being on a show that talks about Mickey Rooney dying for 20 seconds and then poop for 10 minutes.
This is a previously recorded episode of the IT and the D Show.